My name is Stanislaw Luberda with AV Ultra, and today we're going to take a look at the Clone Stamp tool. The Clone Stamp tool lets us remove objects just like it would if we were using Photoshop. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a clip here where I was shooting in Madison and I want to just clean up this shot a little bit. We're going to remove this rock, these people on the boat, maybe a little bit of this extra algae, and some of these leaves. So I've gone ahead and I've imported my footage here. And if you look at my footage, there's something to note about it really quick. It is completely locked down. What that means is there's no tripod movement. It's not panning back and forth or anything. That's going to be very important for the Clone Stamp tool. To use the Clone Stamp tool, I'm going to come right up to my Clone Stamp, and you'll notice if I try clicking on it, nothing happens. To use the Clone Stamp, you have to be within the layer window here. So here's my composition, and here is my layer, and we're going to jump right into this. Just zoom into the scene here and click on my Clone Stamp tool. And just like in Photoshop, if I hold on to Alt or Option, I can click on where my source is going to be, and I can start painting out some of these objects here. So I might have to go over a few different passes here to clean some of these areas up. And we're going to remove some of these leaves here as well. And you can see I'm just taking new sources and removing that. And we're going to come up to these people on the boat here. And I'm going to use some of this to remove these people. And the last thing I want to do here is just clean up some of this here. So I'm going to sample some of that and just add a little bit more water instead of this algae here. I usually keep two windows open here so that way I can see what my final comp is going to look like. So I'm pretty happy with that right now. Let's go ahead and I'm going to close this layer so we can kind of see what our completed work is going to look like. If I open this up, if I'm going to go ahead and hit UU, you'll notice that I have my effects here is paint and all the different strokes I took for that effect. So I'm just going to go ahead, select that, hit U again, and you can see all of those. Now, because I didn't start at the beginning of my timeline, you'll notice that my objects still show up. I see a lot of people do that right away, and what we can do is just extend out all of these. So if I select this one, Shift, I can extend this out. So that's a quick, easy way to use the Clone Stamp tool. I have the same piece of footage here that hasn't been stabilized, and I just want to show what happens if you use a piece of footage that isn't locked down. So this is that same clip, except you can see that this is a handheld shot here. So I'm going to do the same thing I just did before, but we're going to run into some problems here, and we're going to explain what happens. So I'm at the very beginning of my timeline. I'm going to go to my Clone Stamp tool and just paint out this rock here really quick. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to go ahead and close that. And now when I play this back, because I have movement in my camera, that rock is being revealed. Well, why is that rock being revealed? Well, because when I painted this, I used these pixels, and these pixels are at 778 by 614 in my XY space. You can see that right up in here. And that doesn't change. It's always going to refer to that X and Y position. And so when I move, it's still referring to this area here and painting it over there. You can see I'm getting a little bit of weirdness up in here as well. So be aware of that when you're using the Clone Stamp tool. For it to work the way that you would imagine it to work, it needs to be a completely locked down shot. Okay, so that's it. My name is Stanislaw Luberda with AV Ultra. Hopefully you appreciated this quick little tip on the Clone Stamp tool.